My name's Trenton So we were having some water damage on our roof. Unfortunately, we had a first company come through and really doom and gloom us and kind of use almost a car salesman-esque approach where they were trying to get us to sign a contract that day, all that fun stuff. So we'd kind of done some online research and then just asked a couple people through word of mouth, and that's where we really stumbled onto Empire. We reached out and just immediately we had a great experience, good communication, immediate callback, so that's how we kind of got started with Empire. So we started off with Brian and immediately just very clear with communication. I think the day he called, I think he was back to our place in a couple of hours. He took a really thorough look of everything and then even took the time to walk us through everything. It was very clear, whereas a company in the past had kind of scared us about everything, he was very upfront with us, talked to us in really easy to understand terms about everything. The next part was really just what did we want, what type of roofing, what color, customizing it. He was very upfront about pricing and just quality of materials, what he would kind of recommend, what was the pros and cons of each different type of material. After that, we scheduled. It was a really quick process, and then after scheduling, we had materials delivered, and I believe it was the next day we had the actual team come and work on the roof, and they finished it the day they arrived. Yeah, so one of the big problems we noticed early on that was called out to us by multiple companies, not just Empire, was our roof. Due to it being an older house, it was severely under insulated. It was trapping tons of heat. In the winter, it was freezing, causing a lot of issues there. And as far as resolving that issue, they just gave us our options, modernized the roof, brought us up to code with everything, so super helpful there. I felt like the biggest difference for me personally was just the clear line of communication, and it was very honest communication. Just the couple experience we had prior, I like to always use this. It was like a car salesman. They were trying to get us to go with the most expensive version on the shortest timeline possible, so we didn't really have any time to back out. So the clear communication and the honest communication were huge to me. I never felt like they were trying to upsell us on things. They were very fact of matter about what the problems were and what the best way to solve those problems was. Yeah, so one of my biggest concerns, because I've never had work done on a roof before, I never replaced a roof before, I was really worried about additional costs incurred, because replacing a roof can be expensive up front, but one of the worries we had with some other contractors that we talked to was additional costs that would just keep popping up once the roof came off, finding more and more problems that would just run the price up, and we would kind of be stuck because we wouldn't have a roof on our house. One thing Empire did really well was communicating options. So from the start, we just decided to go a full replace. We didn't want those additional nickel and dimes coming up later on throughout the process, and that was something that Empire was very willing to work with us on, and we never ended up having any additional costs tacked on to the project afterwards, which was a huge plus. Honestly, one of the big reasons why I would recommend Empire, aside from just the great communication, was their transparency about pricing.